legislature in strong partnership with the California legislature.
Angela Hart, Kaiser House News. Thank you, Governor. Two-part question for you. First, can you give us any indication of whether people largely heeded the orders to not travel, to stay home during the holiday, or I guess we're in the middle of it, so are they heeding these orders? Or are these orders going ignored right now? What's your understanding of that?
All right, we've been listening to the governor. He's now taken some questions, but the most important thing that he said near the beginning of his news conference here that says because of zero capacity, it is very likely that the regional stay-at-home orders for Southern California will be extended. It had been set to expire today. That's obviously not going to happen, even though he says the official word's not going to come down until Dr. Galley and his team looks at all the data they're getting in today, and they'll make the official announcement tomorrow, but expect stay-at-home orders to continue on at least we're looking at into January, maybe even towards the end of January. He says he also expects that we're going to see another big surge in coronavirus cases, just like the surge we're experiencing now. We're going to see another one in about 2 weeks after the holidays, mainly because a lot of people did not abide by those guidelines to not travel, to not have big gatherings together with people who don't live in the same household. And he says also that counties where guidelines are not being enforced, they not see all the coronavirus relief money dollars being given out by the state. Says watch out for that. He really wants to see the counties enforce these guidelines, because that is how we're going to get the coronavirus under control as we begin to get the vaccines out to residents and healthcare workers and people most at risk from COVID. Get them the vaccines that are being distributed in California. We've already had 361,000 doses given out already. More news in 3 minutes. 12:57. All right, having a bit of difficulty there playing our commercials, which is interesting. So I tell you what, let's get a look at traffic, see how we're doing on the highways right now. Traffic and weather together every 10 minutes provides. Here's how trans.
Not doing so good, actually. Rain coming down parts of Southern California, including up in the valley. If you are anywhere where the rain is in your windshield, turn your windshield wipers, turn your headlights. Ventura Freeway got a grip of problems over here. Crash being reported on East 101 over at Haydenhurst. 4 cars blocking the right lane. We also have another one, East 101 near Los Verdes Road. 3 cars blocking lanes. That's got traffic backed up from the Darrow Canyon. Let's check in with Brian Douglas taking a look at that signal on 14.
All right, still with us, North 14 past Baldy Canyon, 2 left block here. This is an earlier big rig crash. It's a fuel spill now, so the 2 left northbound have you backed up about maybe half a mile north of Baldy Canyon. Your southbound side has cleared, fortunately. All lanes are open, a little sluggish as you come up to the crash. Your left lane definitely catching your attention. Let's have a look as you drive on the 10, Santa Monica Freeway. Scott, Southern California Toyota Dealers, 10 at Jam Cam.
Actually, a couple of problems here, Vince. First one, West 10 at the 110, between the 110 and Vermont, there is a crash there that blocks the right lane, and at the back of that, right around Alameda, there's a crash in lanes as well. So basically, heavy off the eastbound interchange, which would cross that wreck and would find out toward the 405 eastbound. Don't see any major problems, but certainly a lot of slower crossing downtown Florida toward the eastbound interchange.
Your next report, 105. More reports tomorrow on Power Crash. Video and audio center.com. Traffic Center, KNX 1070 News Radio.
All right, we've got showers and isolated thunderstorms today. Our highs going to be in the 50s and 60s. Going to be cloudy with showers tonight. Overnight lows down to 30s and 40s. Going to be sunny tomorrow with highs in the upper 50s to the mid 60s. And currently we've got 48 degrees in Riverside, 55 in Long Beach, 54 degrees in Laguna Hills.
Buongiorno. Buongiorno. Buonasera. Buonasera. How can I make the most of waiting for my next big vacation?
Translate your questions into goals by investing with Merrill Edge Self-Directed. It's more accessible than you think, with helpful planning tools plus free online stock and ETF trades, so you can keep practicing your pronunciation. Merrill, a Bank of America company. Visit merrilledge.com/reach to get started today.
Investing involves risk. Merrill Edge Trust Management Incorporated. Risk through broker-dealer and risk activities. Rates may apply. Investment products are not FDIC insured. Bank guarantee may be valid.
Live from the Antello Smart Studios, Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station. KNX, KRTH, and HD2, Los Angeles, KNX 1070 News Radio. Depend on us.
Top local story, the governor's announced that stay-at-home orders in Southern California will likely be extended into January. LA County Hospital getting some relief for doctors and nurses
I'm Matt Piper in New York. After being briefed by his national security team, President-elect Joe Biden places the blame on current President Trump for what he says are teams working under difficult circumstances.
The truth is, many of the agencies that are critical to our security have incurred enormous damage. Many of them have been hollowed out.
The House is set to vote to boost the $600 payment to Americans to $2,000 in that COVID relief bill signed by the president last night. That would send a new bill to the Senate. There, Republicans have the majority, but oppose more spending and are likely to defeat the effort. Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
The fight goes on. This bill is not sufficient. It's emergency, but it's not enough. And one place it's not enough is relief to people.
Thanks to $15 billion in aid from that relief bill to airlines, Southwest says it will not furlough or cut pay for thousands of its workers. American and United Airlines, which together furloughed 32,000 employees in October, say they'll bring those workers back temporarily. With federal officials having identified the man believed to be behind Nashville's Christmas Day bombing, authorities now turn to the task of piecing together the motive behind the explosion that damaged dozens of downtown buildings and injured 3 people. Our Lola Langley at the scene.
Investigators are looking into whether Anthony Quinn Warner was targeting communications infrastructure. And investigators are also looking into whether he may have been influenced by online conspiracy theories into 5G technology.
The Supreme Court could soon be asked to decide if schools can discipline students for what they post online.
A Pennsylvania high school freshman's vulgar social media postings about failing to make the varsity cheerleading squad have prompted a First Amendment showdown. The student was suspended from cheerleading for a year after her postings on Snapchat that included obscene images and words. That led to a legal fight that will soon end up at the Supreme Court. The school district said administrators nationwide need a definitive ruling from the Supreme Court on their powers to discipline students for what they say outside of class. Jim Priscilla, CBS News.
CBS's Naomi Ruckham on what people around the country plan to imbibe this New Year's Eve.
A new analysis of Google search data found champagne is the reigning drink of choice for New Year's Eve in 21 states. But not every state is going bubbly. Folks in 5 states chose daiquiris as the celebratory drink of choice. Other popular cocktails include the amaretto sour, vodka cranberry, and rum and coke.
At the close, the Dow gained 204 points, NASDAQ up 95, S&P gaining 32. This is CBS News.
You can listen to CBS News Radio 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on radio.com or the radio.com app. Download it today. This is Southern California's only 24-hour local news and traffic station, KNX 1070 News Radio. Good afternoon. I'm Rob Archer. Top local story at 1:03. Governor Newsom confirms that LA County's hospitals have been pushed past their limits because of the surge in coronavirus patients. At his news briefing carried live here on KNX, he said tomorrow it's going to be made official whether stay-at-home orders will be extended.
It's clear and understandable that it's likely those stay-at-home orders will be extended. But again, based upon the data, that determination will be made based upon the data that needs to be collected today to complete that 40-week period. Dr. Galley will update you tomorrow on more specific projections.
The governor also said that 96% of hospitals in LA County were diverting emergency patients at some point over the weekend because of overcrowding in emergency rooms. The state estimates Los Angeles County has nearly 7,200 COVID-positive patients in hospitals, including more than 1,400 in ICUs. The LA Fire Department kicked off a COVID vaccination program for its firefighters.
This is a bright spot for us to close out the year.
LA Mayor Eric Garcetti says the fire department has received 3,200 doses of the Moderna vaccine.
About 3,400 personnel, firefighters, and workers in this department. It allows us to administer the first dose to virtually everybody.
The goal is to get the first round of shots done by the middle of next week.
We do see the vaccine as a light at the end of a very long tunnel.
Fire Chief Ralph Terraza says more than 600 firefighters have tested positive for COVID-19. More than a dozen have been hospitalized, and one, Jose Perez, died in August.
Providing the vaccine to our firefighters is a complicated team effort.
Terraza says department medics will be vaccinating firefighters. KNX 70 News Radio.
Virus numbers in for the state, they are still way too high. Hospitals in the area are strained. That's coming up right after traffic in 2 minutes. 105, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the 5-year soundtrack.
Well, the rain continues to fall in parts of Southern California, including up in the valley. We continue to have problems. We've got the crash on the northbound side of 5, a couple of them actually. North 5 near the 118, got an accident being reported there. We've got another one being reported north 5 near the 210. That's going to keep traffic busy trying to get up into the Wall Pass. Southbound side of the 5. We had an earlier signaler that was supposed to clear about an hour ago. It is still causing slowing from Hadley Canyon down towards Magic Mountain Parkway before that gets any better. Of course, as always, if it is raining where you are, make sure you turn on your windshield wipers and your headlights and do not cut off these big rigs. Give them plenty of space to maneuver. Let's check in with Brian Douglas, taking a look at problems over on the 60.
And with the rain, also creates havoc with the roadway, where we've got some potholes. This is going to be our 60 eastbound now, right for the 57. CHP was just holding all lanes here to fill those potholes. They're in the 2 middle lanes. Looks like you are starting to move. The backup, though, starts at Hill Gallup. And even before that, we've got rain coming down, so you've got drivers driving both directions on that 60 between Diamond Bar, we'll say, on the 605. Big problems for the 170 freeway. Got the Southern California Toyota dealers 170 Chem Chem.
Yeah, we had a car roll over on the 170 southbound coming up on Sherman Way. It's evidently several vehicles, center divider and right shoulder activity, and also a lot of flooding in the area. So maybe try to keep it towards the middle of the freeway. Backup here starts right around Roscoe Boulevard. If you can get on at Sherman Way or point south, you'll be in much better shape. Your next report, 115. More reports more on video and audio center.com. Traffic Center, KNX 1070 New Jersey.
Showers and mountain snow today, and it's the first big storm of the season as it moves through. The rain will begin to let up a little bit later on tonight. We've got sunshine by tomorrow, and some offshore winds will be blowing. It's going to be warming up on Wednesday. Your exclusive 5-day forecast is coming up at 1:15. Currently 48 degrees and raining in Glendale, 50 and rain in Santa Monica, and raining and 55 degrees in Fullerton, 107. California starting the work week with more than 33,000 new cases of coronavirus, 64 additional deaths. The state's hospitals already stretched beyond their limits. Healthcare officials reporting a 2.8% increase in hospitalizations, fewer than 1,400 ICU beds available in the state. It's expected the stay-at-home order will be extended tomorrow. Experts warn it could happen. Hospitals are getting ready just in case they have to start rationing health care.
With hospitals already jammed with COVID-19 patients and another surge expected after the holidays, healthcare providers could be forced to make some heartbreaking decisions. Huntington Hospital has posted a notice on its website, and the bottom line is this: when a patient is very sick and unlikely to survive, then medical resources like ICU care or a ventilator may have to go to another patient.
And it's called triaging. It's how you prioritize care, and it's something we never thought would become reality.
Lisa Jadarian is with the city of Pasadena. She says first responders and others thought this was something that could happen after an earthquake, but a pandemic?
It's very scary times we're living in, and there's no way to sugarcoat it.
It has not been implemented here just yet, but if there is a big post-holiday surge in COVID cases, the situation could reach the breaking point. In Pasadena, John Baird, KNX 1070 News Radio.
A Walmart Supercenter in the Inland Empire has been closed for a 2-day deep cleaning. The company says the superstore in San Jacinto closed yesterday afternoon. All stores typically close like this when employees test positive for COVID. The company did not say there's been an outbreak. The location set to reopen tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Despite warnings for people not to travel during the holidays, a lot of people did, and they say they are ready for a COVID quarantine after arriving at LAX.
LAX and TSA officials estimate about 41,000 people flew into LA yesterday, one of the highest levels since the pandemic began. Those numbers may be lower over the next few days. At the Southwest terminal, Christian was coming back from Texas, where he attended a small family gathering. Most people there were wearing masks in public, and they were observing social distancing rules. But coming back from out of state means abiding by a state-mandated 10-day quarantine. He wasn't really concerned.
Yeah, I can do that. Work from home, so again, I'm on PTO this whole week, so 7 days, plus 3 more. Easy.
Jose Campos and his wife flew in from Florida. 10-day quarantine, not a problem.
We rented a camper van. We're going to be in the wild for 2 weeks.
Most of the travelers I spoke with were flying inside California and weren't that concerned about infections, since everyone aboard the flight wore masks and flights were nowhere near full capacity. At LAX, Pete Demetrio, KNX 1070 News Radio.
The new year will have a lot of voters in Southern California back once again casting ballots.
Soon ballots
balance will be going out to voters in California's 30th Senate District. That's because former State Senator Holly Mitchell is now an LA County Supervisor, and that leaves her seat open for this special election March 2nd. For people who want to run for the office, the filing period opens now through January 7th. The 54th Assembly member, Sidney Kamroger, used to work for Mitchell and is endorsed by Mitchell. Culver City Councilmember John Lee wants the gate. Of course, others will likely jump in too if no candidate gets a simple majority in the March 2nd special election. There will be a runoff May 4th with the top two vote getters. Craig Figner, KNX 1070 News Radio.
Getting word of a power outage in Glendale. Crews working to bring that power back on to a number of customers in East Glendale, just north of the 134 freeway. We have a crash on the eastbound 118 at San Fernando Road. Your next traffic check in 4 minutes. It's 1:11.
Laser Eye Center has a New Year's special of $1,500 off for LASIK. Call today for a free consultation for LASIK, cataracts, or dry eye. 800-688-0909. 800-688-0909. Or visit lasereyecenter.com.
Nothing means more to our sit and sleep family than earning the trust of your family. During our year-end clearance sale, trust Sit and Sleep to provide a safe, clean shopping environment